All right, we live. We're on YouTube now. Let's switch to YouTube. We live. We in the building. Mr. 411 in the house. Welcome everybody to the show. Make sure you hit 411 Sports World Network on YouTube. That's 411 Sports World Network on YouTube. Also on TikTok, Mr. 411, as you can see right there. And then also on Instagram, Mr. 411, as you see right there. Hey, the panel, nice panel today. Got Antoine, TB, and Philly Wins on the building. What's up?
What's going on, my brothers?
All right, bros. What's happening? All right. Well, Philly, you out there or you muted?
Oh yeah, I'm off of mute now. What's going on, man? How y'all doing?
Oh, we good, bro. We good. Yes, sir. All right, man. Draft, man. What a draft. Obviously, we're here to talk about the Shedeur Sanders selection. But before we do that, just what's your overall quick brief thoughts on the draft?
I mean the draft was it wasn't a lot of blue chip like players once you got past I'll say the top 15 guys.
Yeah.
You know, it was more of a depth draft and pretty much, you know, take a flyer on a few guys. If you draft 10 and 4 pan out, you call that a A. Because it wasn't that heavy like past drafts with a lot of elite quarterbacks, a lot of elite receivers. The skill positions is what stands out during draft day, especially in your first 3 rounds. Once you get 4 through 7, then those a lot of your backups and players you just taking flyers on. But as an Eagle fan, I mean, I think Mr. Brown, he can enlighten me on Jihad, because I know we talked about that in our mock draft.
Yeah, you got a dog. You got a dog, my boy.
Yeah, I was kind of reluctant to take him because the history of the Eagles not drafting linebackers, but shit, they proved me wrong. Excuse my language. I mean, they draft quite a few this past draft. And Jihad, I mean, I didn't even know he was a South Jersey kid, and he grew up an Eagles fan. So, I mean, that was kind of the trifecta. And then to see that he kind of got that Michael Parsons / wasn't Jamie Collins type over, type linebacker.
He really didn't have to do a whole bunch of it, but a whole bunch of lining up on the end because you had Dallas Turner and most of them guys that have been going in the NFL were playing that position, so that's why they moved him to off-ball linebacker, which make his skills a lot better because he can play both positions.
Yeah. I mean, and I ain't gonna lie, I was chomping at the bit to talk to you because I know you're a Bama fan, so you know better than me. I mean, y'all
got a dog because what's called was supposed to be going for him, Lawson, but Lawson ended up getting hurt.
Oh yeah,
and Lawson had to come back. He had to come back because he got hurt the last part of the year.
Wow.
Yeah. So
he a Bama fan. God bless his heart.
Yeah, so I mean that's how the draft, looked panned out for me in that whole Shedeur fiasco. I mean, when we get to
Hey,
that segment, man, we'll talk about that.
Yeah. So just
hey, but you had a
As
lot.
a
You had a
as a
lot of people that didn't go, man.
yeah,
Nah,
yeah.
You
There's
had a lot of like a lot of the receivers that go. A lot of them had to sign uh, free
UDFA's.
agent deals.
Yeah.
yeah.
That,
I wonder if it was their 40 times, man. Because I mean, if you wasn't blowing the clock off the meter with a 4.2, 4.3, 4.4. I mean, you're a 4.5, 4.6 guy. Yeah, you're gonna be a UDFA.
yep.
Unless you have a special skill, like being 6'5", and still running 4.5 like Megatron, but you high pointing the ball or I mean, you just doing something elite to where the GM I mean, willing to take that flyer on him, you
Yeah,
know.
because the elite receiver, the top receiver last year, what boy named Nash, he didn't get drafted.
Well, and and you already jumped right into great a player that I was going to actually mention. So I'm glad you did that, TB. Nick
Yeah,
Nash actually was statistically a better receiver than
everybody.
Travis Hunter. If you look at his numbers,
Yeah,
and he was talked about being a pro receiver, during this campaign. So I was surprised at that one. But yeah, that's that. My overall thought for the draft was simply that is that it didn't wow. It wasn't like the big wow factors, but the entertaining piece of it was that we had the Travis Hunters, the Shedeurs in the draft, and then the Ashton Genty type deal, and then one big take from it is that just the overall NFL perspective on this year's quarterback draft class in comparison to what's going to be next year's draft class. But that's my initial thoughts. Twan, you had any initial thoughts before we go into the Shedeur segment?
Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. I was trying to get two or three things done. Like I said, as a Falcon fan, I like what we did. I like the move to get you some defensive help. We lost way too many games because we couldn't stop anybody. Could never get to the quarterback, and so you went and got uh, two top 10, top 15 guys in this draft, and people are like, well, you trade away the draft pick, but it's like you anticipate getting better next year, so you're not going to, you're potentially not going to have, that high of a pick next year. So,
So
you
who you
know,
talking about though, bro? You talking about who you with the Falcons?
yeah, the Falcons.
I mean,
I
I
don't know if
like
you.
the Pierce Jr. pick from Tennessee
Okay,
and the kid
yeah.
y'all got from Georgia. Not was it McHale y'all picked up or the other kid?
San Fran got
Williams. They
okay.
got Williams then, Mikael
Oh,
Williams then.
San Fran did, didn't
San
okay,
Francisco
yeah.
got, yeah.
San Fran got
Well, Atlanta got the
McHale.
other guy then.
Yeah,
he? Yeah,
they got the other one on the
he
other
got the guy
side.
from Tennessee.
They got both of them. They got
They got
Tennessee
both
and
of them.
they got and they got the other end. I forgot his name. It's not
And then
Williams. It's the
they
other
then
guy.
they end up getting
It's
a
number
nice
11.
safety too.
Oh yeah, y'all
Yeah,
Um,
did pick up that good safety.
they
Yeah,
got Walker.
Yeah,
Um,
Walker.
yeah, they
Walker.
got
Walker. Yeah.
Walker.
Walker
Yeah,
Pierce. And what's the safety name? Was it Amore or whatever his name
I
is?
think the ball from South Carolina wasn't.
Yeah, the big 6'2" safety. Or
well,
War or whatever his name is. Yeah.
we'll verify it, but
Yeah.
they did go the right direction in my opinion. They did go defense, and that's what you should have did. If you're Atlanta, you should go defense. I think there's enough offense over there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean
they
with
got,
Penix coming on and you got Bijan and you got London and you got Pitt, you still got Pitts right now until they decide to trade him. You know.
you got, they went and picked up the cat last year, and he got hurt before the damn season. Another receiver. Gosh, see, I'm trying to do two or three things, man, and I'm not prepared. But we had that receiver that we got last year, and we lost him during preseason. And
Mhm.
so, yeah, you got enough offensive weapons
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
He
Yeah,
dropped.
choked out.
he'll be back. But yeah, so that's good. So the draft was what it was. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's good players there, but we ain't gonna say it was
And
life
one
changing
thing I
players.
hope, dog. One thing I hope is that these boys start seeing this NIL gonna get them messed up
Mm-hmm.
because Bond from Texas would have been a top pick at Alabama because he would have been the focus. It wouldn't have been Ryan Williams, but Ryan Williams would have still been no up there. But Bond was the number one receiver at Alabama. That's all they were talking about when he transferred, went to Texas. Went to Texas, got in trouble and everything. Didn't have no good year. And got to learn how to sit down sometime, dog.
Yeah.
The NIL gonna get a lot of people who think they going to the league that they're gonna get messed up, man. They
Mm,
better make
Yeah.
all the NIL money they can.
Yeah.
yep. Okay. Well, look, Shedeur Sanders was selected. He was selected in round 5. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Round 5. So he did go to round 5. Uh, hey guys, we get a little bit of feedback, just FYI. But round 5 was Shedeur. All right. He went. There's a lot of talk about it, and especially when he didn't. First all the rumors was when he didn't go around 1, but then when it wasn't round 2, and then we get down into Saturday and round 3 rolling around, it's like, okay, what the world's going on now? So, Shedeur at 5. What are your thoughts on that?
Hey man, they gonna that thing with Colin Kaepernick. They finna open up a whole new box, dog. Cause they act like it wasn't no collusion against Kaepernick, but you can see it plain as day it was collusion against Shador. That man, ain't no way some of the how you projected the number 3 pick in the what's called you gonna fall all the way to the 5th round. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. And
Yeah,
then they saying all kind of crazy stuff about it. Like they said that it really his fault though. Cause he went and blew them interviews off, and they ain't tell his daddy that. I guess.
that
Mm,
that 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 right there is only speculation because we only got they word on that how he did in the interviews. But I want to point out something. And what up, to everybody? We see you again.
yes, sir.
Hey, how's
What
it
up,
going?
Tug?
I want to point out something. His daddy said that he wouldn't let his son go to Cleveland, and ironically, that's where they
That's the
went.
way he had to go.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's going on in Cleveland that you got? I'm curious to see how this don't play out because you got 5 quarterbacks there.
Yep.
Yes.
And I was saying on and I'm saying on TikTok that
Oh,
that was I understand why the Falcons didn't pick him up because we already got quarterback issues, but for them to put him in Cleveland, that shit is ridiculous. So you want him to wash out the league? That's what you pretty much saying.
I mean, why
Yeah.
would Cleveland draft him when they drafted the guy from Oregon,
Gabriel,
Yeah, Gabriel.
Gabriel
They
Hey,
traded for Kenny Pickett. They got a
Flacco.
old man
Flacco?
Flacco,
but
Flacco,
and you still tied to Deshaun.
you still got
yeah,
Deshaun.
he ain't gonna play no more though. They not
Yeah.
ready to set him down.
Yeah, Deshaun's going to wash out, but still, Flacco is the veteran. He's likely got the catbird seat right now.
Yeah.
Pickett's probably going to be the backup. So we're
Yeah.
talking about the third string quarterback right now.
Yeah.
I really think it's gonna be an open competition. It's gonna be an open competition for everybody because Kenny Pickett can't be trusted. Flacco looked like doodoo last year in the Indy. You see what I'm saying?
But
Yeah.
he
And
has,
then another thing too, what I'm hearing, I think I think all the bad reports came from Dayball from the Giants.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't be
That's
surprised
what
if
I'm hearing too.
Dayball he was mad because they were saying he had a package of plays he gave Shador to know and come up with scenarios when they had their meeting.
On
And
the
I guess
whiteboard.
yeah, and I guess Shador didn't get something right and he got on him. And then Shador, I mean, I guess got frustrated and can't clap back at him. And he didn't like that, and then, I mean, basically they started putting reports out.
Yeah.
that he wasn't prepared and all this other nonsense.
So is it possible that that could have happened though?
Yeah,
I think so, because how you what Jackson Dot came, they wasn't even on Jackson Dot. New York
yeah,
was.
nah,
No, New York had. Yeah, I was going to say they had. I mean, there were reports about them having like multiple meetings. You know what I'm saying, like week long kind of setups with Shedeur. You know what I'm saying. So like it
yeah,
wasn't. They had invested the time into picking him. I believe. I think they were gonna do the same scenario. I think you take Carter. You know what I'm saying. You go ahead and snatch Carter because
Well, you
he's
got to.
he's the yeah, he's the elite player. And then you kind of do the same thing. You move up to get Shedeur with that other pick that they took Dart with. And
yeah,
so, I think that was the package that they were initially going with. But even if that is a situation, and it probably is some of the stuff behind it that isn't going to get talked about up front. But my thing is, and I guess he is the coach, so you do have to that portion of it you have to respect. But God dang, Brian Dables, that's sorry, mother father.
But that
yeah.
but that
Well,
Exactly.
just move on. But my thing is, just move on. If he did that, you just move on from it. But what I'm saying is, do y'all think I think it's
it's collusion.
collusion.
It's absolutely collusion because
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
Pittsburgh, and they needed a quarterback.
yeah,
So
and in
what?
if he blew,
Pittsburgh, they holding out hope for Rodgers.
But
It's
see, my
like,
thing with that is, and see, as far as like Pittsburgh has been one of that. They've been one of the few teams. You know what I'm saying, that have been. They've been, if you want to say progressive, or at least at least seeming to give coaches and other people a fair shot. It seems
It,
like that they've done that.
it
And the
don't
fact
matter
that you
when they
no no,
when the
I'm just
call
saying,
go down. When the
let me
call
just
go down
finish it.
from the top,
I know,
when
but
that
I'm
GM
just
tell
saying,
Mike Tomlin
finish it
he
out.
can't draft him, he can't draft him.
if they said don't draft him, don't draft him.
I'm
And
not
that's what
saying
you
that, y'all.
saw.
That's what I was going to get to. My thing is but there is a clear. I mean, like there is an absolute clear need for a quarterback, and you have one to fall into your lap who has all the intent, all the stuff that you need in a starting quarterback, and you don't pick him when you absolutely need a quarterback. It goes back to what y'all was saying, that it's more to it than just
You waiting on a 40-year-old man.
yeah, who's a malcontent in itself.
Yeah,
That
he had a
part.
locker room tore up.
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
he
I
coming with the
mean,
attitude
well,
that
you
he
just
don't
had
give a damn.
and you had recent information on that. I mean, with the
Yeah,
Jets, so it's not
yeah,
like this happened 10 years ago. It was
yeah,
like last season. So
yeah. He
I
he don't give a
mean,
damn at all.
But
not
this
at
So
this point.
it just underscores that even if you're a malcontent as a I'm
Caucasian,
trying to think how to put as a
as a
As
coach,
a
I
as
Caucasian
mean,
as
malcontent.
a called white
or
man, hey, it is what it is.
you cannot know the position, you cannot know the plays, you can be a malcontent, you can have all these issues
white
and
privilege.
still get drafted. And
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's blatant now. It's blatant. Like the NFL can't even hire. You can't spin this no kind of way.
yeah,
And
Yes, I
it's
mean,
showing it. Like you
yes,
said,
and
Brian, they're gonna have another cabinet situation on their hands.
But see, that was that what I was just say to because they said they didn't collude against Kaepernick to keep him out the league because there's no collusion in the NFL. But obviously, we see it now.
hmm,
You know what I'm saying? You done made it evident now.
yeah.
so where round you guys think Shador should have been drafted? It sound like y'all
No
say he should have
later
been the
than the
first round.
second. No later than the second.
Yeah, I'll
I
say yeah, no later than a second. He should have went. I mean,
I think he
personally, I
should have went in
thought
the first round.
when the
he should
Giants
have went
when
first
the
round.
Giants traded back in the first round, I thought the Giants were going to get him. I mean, because I mean that was kind of that ideal spot to jump in front of, Cleveland with the first pick in the second round. Because I was assuming that Cleveland was going to get him with the first pick in the second round if he fell out the first, and then I thought he was going to go in the sixth pick in the second round to Vegas because Vegas
Yes.
picking Gentry made sense. I'm thinking like, oh man, you got Shedeur, you got Gentry, you got your future. You know what I mean? You find you another elite. The receiver crop is going to be better next year. Now you got your trio in Vegas, but they even dropped the ball.
Yeah, you got Tom Brady, his mentor there, and then the
Hmm.
Raiders owner been on him all last year. Talking about he wanted him to play for, he wanted to draft him. I'm
Yeah.
like you,
And
bro, because
yeah,
he could have came up. They could have came up and got Gentry first, and then
Hmm.
got Shedeur Sack. I mean, like trade back in the first round.
Yep.
everything that everybody's saying is absolutely too many scenarios and too much. And like I said, you have at
Yeah.
least five teams that absolutely need a starting quarterback.
Hmm.
And again, even if you don't take him in the first round, there's absolutely no reason you don't take this man in the second round or the
Yeah.
third round. You know what I'm saying? So it is an absolute, like I say, you is plain as day. You know what I'm saying? Like the
Yeah.
whole thing is absolutely plain as day.
And the and,
What
and
it
the
what
thing
it is?
is, oh my fact. Go ahead, man.
No,
Go.
go
You
ahead,
go.
bro.
Oh, I was going to just say this: the separation between Cam Ward and Shador is not that wide. If you turn on the tape, I mean, they both have, Ward has a stronger arm, quote unquote. To me, Shador has better accuracy. I mean, their field presence is similar. They both took bad sacks. They both threw bad interceptions at times, but that's what you get with a young player, and that can be coached. You know what I mean? So if they're the top two quarterbacks, any other draft, the top two quarterbacks, whether you had Peyton Manning, Ryan Leaf, whether you
Yeah,
had Carson Wentz and Jared Goff, the
yeah,
ones and twos pretty much is taken off taken off the board. I mean, if we want to go far back as Jamarcus Russell, when he was at one of the top, he was the top quarterback, and I forgot who was behind him, and they went 1 and 2. So yeah, I'm with y'all. It was definitely a plot, man, and it has no bearing in the game, man. It don't make no
yeah.
sense.
I just need to give him.
So this is my question to y'all. With it being a quarterback situation in Cleveland, you got five people vying for two slots, right?
Right.
Is this their way of washing him out the league? That to say that, oh well, we couldn't make him one of our we couldn't put him as a second string backup quarterback because he just didn't play good enough for that, and hoping that he just falls out of the league after that.
No, he won't fall out the league. I could tell you a team up in Philly who was going to draft him uh, in the fifth round, um, and Cleveland jumped him to get him because I
They
mean
traded with Seattle.
they jumped the Eagles because the Eagles going to draft him in the fifth round because they're looking like we put him in our room, we get him with Jalen, build him up, and then you flip him for a first round pick. But at the
Yeah.
same time, you work, what I mean, you showing that he's a team player, all the good qualities that the kid has. Because I mean, he's not a bad kid. I
Yeah,
mean, young man.
but even your teams, you just we're gonna wait till the fifth round. Like,
Yeah,
why are
well,
we
yeah,
talking
because
fifth
Well,
round?
they got Jalen.
well,
Why would they do
we
that?
don't, yeah, we that was a value pick, cuz I mean,
But
that's what it is.
just like you
No,
just
but what
said though,
I
but
mean, yeah,
Cleveland
but
jumped the gun and got ahead of Philly to do that.
What? Oh,
So
But
Tub.
what Philly's saying is you take him in the fifth round,
And flip.
and just like he said, you build him up, and then you trade him for a first round pick.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's value. That's cool. That's all
yeah,
about
yeah.
Yeah.
value.
you're right.
Oh well,
You're
I
right.
don't
That's like
disagree with
finding a
that
gold
move.
watch in the middle of the street.
No, but what I'm saying is, I'm making the point that even a team like Philly that didn't need a quarterback, it was round five when it was like, hey man, ain't nobody gonna take this guy by now. I guess we gonna jump
Shit,
in.
I wish the Cowboys would have took him.
Yeah, the Cowboys needed
I
him
said,
too.
and when that contract over, Dak out of there.
So
Yeah,
why they didn't do it?
the same reason why
Delusion,
Milwaukee didn't
bro.
do it. The same
Who would
reason
have?
why
I
the
mean, it
Giants
was
didn't
for
do it.
the.
Same
Yeah.
reason.
Hey, I think now Jerry is probably one of the ringleaders of that because I think Jerry is he probably still a
Nah,
little
dog. Jared
little
love it.
love.
Jared love him
Why
because
he
he
didn't pick
loved
him?
Deion.
Why he didn't draft him
He
then?
loves
He
him.
had he had plenty of
Why
rounds.
would I got to build my team? I got out of anybody. Cowboys need to build their team more than anybody.
But is
yeah.
he better? Is he better than some of the players Dallas drafted?
Mm, position
Yeah.
wise,
You
yeah. I mean, but he's
You
gonna
got to
sit the
go
bench.
position lead. They didn't need a
Yeah,
quarterback.
yeah. That's where we
That's
was
the way
at.
they're
We
looking
don't
at
need
it.
a quarterback, but
Well,
in the
Yeah, we
fifth
need
round,
everything else.
I
But
get it.
let's say it for what it is.
Shit,
Jerry
y'all.
got outvoted by all the other owners who decided that they was gonna do this.
That's how you collude.
That's
So,
what the definition of collusion is. And the fact that
yeah.
Jerry Jones didn't take him and Jerry Jones got a good relationship with his daddy, that lets you know that even Jerry Jones, as powerful as he is in the league, he's got a lot of power. He got outvoted by the other owners. They all got together. They all had a meeting behind
now,
closed doors with Goodell and said, "This is what we gonna do, and you gonna go along with it."
now this the
Yeah, and
same
that's
Jerry Jones now that made his players kneel that we talking about.
Mhm.
Jerry Jones, look here. When Jerry Jones don't, Jerry Jones, he'll buck. Now he'll buck back at you, but he
Same,
ain't more powerful than that shield, bro.
same,
That shield
same
gonna
Jerry
go on.
Jones that broke up the collective bargaining agreement too. Because you know everybody with Reebok, he put a Nike sign on his stadium. Remember that?
I
He
do.
did it on his own.
yeah. But again, like you say, when we look at each individual things, not like you say, not just relationships that are beneficial. You know, what I'm saying long term relationships, all that stuff, and then again, an absolute need. I mean, you
Hmm.
know, what I'm saying
Yeah,
Las Vegas,
we
Las
didn't
Vegas,
absolutely need him, but
yeah,
we could have
Las
used him.
Vegas, Las Vegas needs a quarterback. Cleveland needs a quarterback. New York
Well,
needs a quarterback.
you got
Uh,
you got to think about this here. L.A. didn't. Las Vegas didn't need no quarterback because they had just signed Gino the 2 year deal.
Man, come on. Gino is gonna give you body. I mean, but
They
okay,
gave him
but
$45 million for 2 years.
Yeah, he playing for 2 years. He playing for two,
listen, okay, and then that's
unless he
fine.
bombs.
But let's go ahead, okay. But we still you look at Atlanta. Atlanta. I mean, and
Now they
Gino may
need
be in a
a
bit.
quarterback.
I'm just saying, but if you look at the situation and you look at what was done, and nobody called Atlanta, they were crazy by
Oh,
taking
yeah.
Penix.
Go ahead, Brandon. I want to hear this one. Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody called Atlanta crazy when they took Penix after they
Hmm.
gave
I
Kirk
did.
After
Cousins.
they
Yes, when
after
else
they
the
I
hell we
did.
did? Yes, the hell
Okay,
we
well,
did.
okay. Well, if y'all did, then look at okay. Well, then there was some evil genius behind whatever's going on, and said, guess what? We gonna take the most talented guy that we can right when we can get him. We're not gonna worry about having a hole that needs to be filled. We're gonna take the best player available. And what is it done now? It has
Hey,
benefited them.
They shouldn't have
was
took it. Was
that
that was
wasn't what's called pick. That wasn't
that was
Raheem
that was
Morris
Raheem
pick. That was
Morris.
his pick. He didn't pick Kirk Cousins. He got his own guy in there.
Kirk Cousins
Okay,
was
but then
chose by the GM.
but
Yeah.
GM
okay.
chose Kirk
but
Cousins.
he's
My thing
paid
is,
to be the guy though. It's gonna be no doubt that Kirk Cousins gonna start last season.
He
He ain't
started.
starting this. He ain't starting this season.
He ain't started
yes,
this year.
No, but
And
I'm
he got the
saying,
most
but we
money.
talking about
these
going
are
into it. We
yes,
just like this. We going into a season with Shedeur.
yes,
So
yes, going into
going
it.
going into the season, they took that guy. They still drafted a young guy, even though they had Cousins who's on the books to be your starter. Period.
Yep.
That's
Same.
Well,
that's
See,
that's the way it was
Seattle.
supposed to work out
Seattle
anyway.
did the same thing. Seattle
Yeah,
did the
Atlanta,
you
same
remember
thing in the
you
past.
remember that's how Russ got in Seattle.
Yep.
Oh yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, Russ wasn't even supposed to be out there. It was supposed to be
And
the
he beat Flynn out.
right. It was supposed to be Flynn, and and Seattle paid Flynn like it too.
Yeah, and they paid at the time that 25 million that Flynn got was a
No,
big contract
yeah,
Yeah,
during that time.
that's you the
okay,
man money. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, you
but
the
I
man.
mean, I mean,
Similar to what Gino just signed.
hmm
and again, I think again, like you say, some of the times we get to arguing. I always like to say the opposite side of the same coin. I think everybody has to understand, and we all agree that it is collusion. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
this just doesn't
Yeah, there ain't no doubt about that.
and it just doesn't happen. My thing, and I, like you say, your point, like somebody could say, hey, well, they got a need here, they got a need. Atlanta had needs last year, but guess what? They
They
took the
still got
best
Penny.
guy.
Yep.
They took the guy that the best player available when they got there. People were talking about them taking Bijan a couple of years ago. Hey man, you don't draft running backs in the first round. We done got away from that. And guess what? they look like, you know what I'm saying, like they are making the right moves.
Mm-hmm.
So the same way with when you don't draft, like I said, when you got teams that absolutely either need a quarterback or, like I say, with Las Vegas, okay,
Hey,
you get Shedeur, and you sit him for 2 years, let him learn the game. He's gonna be with Pete Carroll. He's gonna be behind another black quarterback, and let
Yep.
him learn the game and let him, you know what I'm saying? Okay, and so now what? You have invested in a guy that's gonna be your future. And then I'm gonna say one
Mm-hmm.
more thing real quick, and then I'm gonna get off of it. Okay, Brown, you remember when Michael Parsons was coming out of college, you know what I'm saying? And then everybody, he was supposed to have been like 2-3, you know what I'm saying? And he fell into y'all lap. And guess what? Jared was like, you know what? Fuck that. He might be hurt this year. We might have to take it on the chin this year. But the man is a franchise player, and that's what you do. Sometimes, especially when you in some of those middle to lower, you know what I'm saying? If top 5 guys, like, this draft
nah,
wasn't full of them anyway. So when you get into those lower to middle rounds and you start getting a guy like Shedeur that you can absolutely beat, he is a starting quarterback. He can be a starting quarterback in the league, and you let him go, there's something more to it, And
hey,
then, like I say, that's what we all been saying.
but look, Parsons situation. Parsons supposed to have been an Eagle. Parsons supposed to have been an Eagle, but the Eagles wanted Dante Smith from
Yeah.
Alabama,
Mm-hmm.
and them and the Cowboys traded two rivals traded picks. You
Yep.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You don't
but
usually get that two rivals traded picks, but they wanted
no,
Devontae Smith so bad. The Eagles kind of passed on Michael Parsons, because he didn't play it last year.
Yeah,
He
because they
didn't play
missed
it
out on
last year for
Justin
COVID.
Jefferson.
Uh,
yeah,
They picked Jalen Rager over Justin Jefferson. That's why he was panicking.
yeah, there we go. But okay, but see, like I say, even with that, when he was coming out, like I say, Parsons should have Parsons was when he was going through, and like I say, when he got hurt right there, he was projected to be like, what I'm saying, like 2-3, what I'm saying, like really high. And
he wouldn't ever project that. He was
me,
going in the top 10, but he wasn't no 2 or 3.
send me if he wasn't.
We
That boy
we,
was.
we just got lucky, bro.
Yeah, you got lucky because somebody, what I'm saying, what it was is y'all decided to take a, what I'm saying, like, hey, we're gonna take the hit on a guy, and let him, what I'm saying, we're gonna have to let him sit for a year or whenever, what I'm saying, we're gonna miss out on
You
that part.
a player like Michael Parsons don't supposed to sit for no year. Players like that supposed to
He
come
was
in and
hurt.
start.
No, he was
So
hurt.
what I'm
That's what it
saying
was. He
is,
was hurt.
only reason we got through that was the Eagles wanted Devontae Smith.
Yeah.
They
Okay,
wanted to, and he
and I
came
get that.
behind we moved
I,
2 spots. And then Michael was there. I'll tell you something. Michael basically begged the Cowboy to take him. He said it all through the draft process. I want to be a Cowboy. I want to be a Cowboy. So sometimes when people hear you say something, man, I don't want him here if he don't want to be him. You
So
know
and,
what I'm
and
saying?
with that said, I'm gonna throw something out there to y'all. Y'all do realize that with this overwhelming evidence of collusion and everybody across the board, I don't care who you go to, with the exception of like Jason Whitlock, saying that is agreeing that this is some form of collusion. So the league has left themselves open for a lawsuit. Actually,
Really,
he
they have.
he
But
can sue
it's
them for.
Deion fault too, though, cuz. That's
Hold on,
Deion fault too.
hold on. If there is evidence of collusion, and let's say that they do say, okay, fuck it, we got paper, we'll just charge this up to the game, but we gonna sue you. At that point, all these speculations we get caught, they can go into court and say, give us everything during discovery that you have that said he interviewed that badly with all these teams. And if the NFL cannot produce that, and they got, and trust and believe, they record each and every one of these meetings.
Mm-hmm.
If
I,
they can't produce it for multiple teams where he got out, and even if he did, those are supposed to be self-contained within them teams and not discussed with other teams. So if
Yeah.
you had any discussion, any emails that went on between them and other franchises and other teams, then that's collusion. So
but
he
if I
right now, The
But
NFL is open for this.
if I'm a team, and Shedeur is falling, and I want a Shedeur, why wouldn't I take him?
Exactly.
Why wouldn't I take him?
Because the quarterback draft was so weak.
Nah,
I mean,
They probably
nah,
just like they said, we can get him when we want to get him.
nah.
but it went back to the conclusion. That's what they said as a unit. They said, look, hey,
Exactly.
I don't know. I don't know if it was a round. I don't know if it was a specific round that they decided that they weren't gonna, like, hey, don't nobody touch him before the third round. You know what I'm saying? Or no, don't.
Now I believe that. I think they said don't nobody touch the third round. Then once he kept on falling, then everything was out the bag. And then what Deion messed the whole thing up when he said that a couple months ago. Remember he said he's gonna go where I wanted to play it. Some places we're not welcome to go. You can't
Yep.
say
Well, how many?
that, bro.
He said two.
How many
I think
players
he
have
said.
said that?
I think he said two teams, didn't he? Didn't he say something like?
Nah, he said more than that.
Oh, I'm just saying. Then he.
But this is
I thought he
crazy.
said something around there about two teams that he definitely was saying that he doesn't want him to go to.
But this
Okay,
is
but
crazy.
then two weeks for the draft, he changed his tone though.
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
He said,
Parents say
"Well,
that all the time about their children in the draft, where they want them to go, where they don't want them to go.
I
Exactly.
Everybody say
understand
the
that
same.
too.
But
I understand that, but you can't piss them folks off that like that neither though. You know,
But this is what I'm trying to
one
say.
number five teams that need a quarterback.
It still goes back to collusion. If even if you let him fall, because they
I
could
mean,
let him
Archie
fall complete.
Manning did that.
Yeah.
Exactly. And nobody
Yeah,
said
yeah.
nothing. Nobody said nothing. So if you would have let him fall completely out the draft, if he'd have fell out the draft, they would have absolutely sued the league and won.
Oh yeah, they would. Yeah, they would have had a big old lawsuit.
That's the only reason why they picked him up, because to let him fall all the way to the fifth round, somebody
Hmm.
picked up the phone and said, "Hey, y'all better pick him up, because if we
Uh,
don't pick him up, then
Hey,
they can sue us."
hey, I tell you, somebody head gonna fall off if they don't win this year, and that the general manager and maybe Mike Tomlin in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
You
Well.
knew you needed a quarterback. Cause what if Aaron Rodgers said, "Nah, I'm gonna hang it on up."
Yeah.
You finna have Mason Rudolph, bro.
Yep. Again.
well, somewhere within all of this lies the truth, and
Hmm.
we do need to
We'll never get to it.
right.
Hey,
And
unless
No, they ain't never gonna
subpoena
come.
all them phone records like they did Gruden.
Well, see, that's the part about it. Me personally, you already, as a family, y'all already got money. Deion gonna leave his money to his kids. I would go on and say, okay, this is what y'all want to play NFL. Y'all want to play this dirty game, and I know he won't, because he got to look out for Shiloh coming out behind him. But I would roll the dice, and I say, yeah, I'll sue you. And yeah, I want to subpoena emails, phone records. I want to know who y'all talk to on face to face, because they ain't went face to face and had this conversation. So it is some traffic somewhere where
Oh
we
yeah.
can get a recorded call, we can get some emails that
That's
said
what I'm
y'all got
saying.
together on this, and they
And
gonna
then
settle out.
they can't blackball him
Yeah,
because that's gonna even more prove his collusion.
right.
Hmm.
So I would. The Sanders family actually in a better position by just going ahead and suing them, because the money that they gonna have to pay him on a payout on this is big time collusion. You would
Man,
actually make more money doing that than having them play in the league.
hey, let me
But
ask y'all a question. Let me ask the whole panel a question, and I'm chill out because I want to hear y'all go off on here. Have y'all ever seen Deion that humble?
No. No.
can I go ahead and answer that? Nope.
I think you
That's
go.
the
I think
humble
you ain't
I
gonna
ever
get no
heard that dude.
pushback.
That dude
Hey,
didn't say nothing, man.
yeah,
All of them.
we got
All of
to
them.
go ahead.
No, yeah, I'm
Oh,
finna say, yeah, Shedeur. I mean, and I think somebody was saying that all you heard him say was, God got a plan. You know what I'm saying? Like, God's got a plan for me. God got a plan for me. You
Yeah.
know, you didn't say God had a plan with you when you were telling them folks, I ain't playing for you. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't what you wasn't,
Exactly.
you
But
weren't big and brash then. And
Because
so,
the cameras wasn't on.
yeah.
Yeah, you got
And
You
so
know,
but
so when you
how
building
do
the
we know
case,
that he said that?
it's a character deal. It's called character witness. when the
Yeah,
camera's
and
on, you got to show the better side of yourself. Hey, that's not us. You see what I was
yeah,
saying? You see what I was tweeting? You
yeah,
know, it's
exactly.
my word against yours.
You know,
Yeah.
yeah, but like you say,
Oh,
so many.
did y'all see the clip? I think it was on Well Off Media when he was over there. He was saying God. He was saying God, please take him out the cross. I bad. I bad. That what
Yeah,
Deion
I
was
said
saying.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that what Deion said. I bad if you take it off him.
Well, I'm gonna do a self plug. I got about 12 videos out there right now on TikTok with Shedeur. He's talking with a pastor. He said he had a bad dream a couple nights before,
Yeah,
so he said that
that's
was
his cousin. That ain't no pastor.
well,
That's his cousin.
his
That
cousin.
don't necessarily mean he ain't no pastor.
You're right, his cousin slash pastor, and then then
Well,
he had,
y'all will go
he,
over the top.
hey, no, but he had a great speech after being drafted on video, saying to the Browns, "Thank you for drafting me, give me a chance,"
Yeah,
all that stuff. And then it goes
Now,
back to what Tubb said earlier. Like, it's ironic that the team he got drafted to is the team that
he didn't want to go to.
Bill didn't want
Yeah.
to go to. I think Tubb said that. Whoever said it,
yeah, I
but
said that because
yeah,
that's the most clearest evidence of collusion right there. We gonna humble you by sending you to the team that you said that you didn't want to go to, that you and your daddy said y'all ain't gonna go to.
Yeah.
Now
and you in a QB battle for the third slot with a guy they drafted before you.
they
Yeah.
making sure you ain't
A
getting no big money.
5'8" guy.
A 5'8" left-handed quarterback. Uh, that was basically carried by Oregon, by all the other position players besides him. And so that's a weird situation. And there were a lot more ideal situations for Shedeur to be on,
I
guys.
Yeah.
still say New Orleans was the best spot for him.
Yeah. New Orleans was the best spot, and I mean the kid that they got, he's nowhere near Shador caliber.
Yeah,
You know, he's just taller.
And he already 25.
Yeah.
yeah,
Exactly.
If you see
yeah.
them New Orleans pages, bro, the fan base in New Orleans is going crazy because they like,
Oh
what the
yeah.
fuck are y'all doing? This is
Yeah.
my thing about it. Now, see, take Deion up out of this and put me in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
As the dad, you're the dad.
I'm the dad.
Okay.
At this point, I wouldn't even trip because I'm getting getting Shiloh in there. Okay, you still playing here. I'm gonna double down on the NIL money on you and what we asking for. Whether you deserve it or not, I still try to get as much as I can. But I would sue the league because that's the part that nobody is talking about. Sue the league, you'll win.
That's a Billy right there, my boy.
Thank you. That's generational money gonna come out there, and they gonna settle behind the scenes. They ain't gonna want it to go to court because they know that they can't not say it
The
what we
whole
see.
nation saw it, bro.
So
Yeah.
sue them.
Well,
Sue them.
who's
Take your money. Take your $500 million because I think that's the first number they're gonna throw up. We'll give you $500 million to make it go away. That's the money he would have made in the lifetime of the league. You go on and do something else.
yeah.
Just
Well,
do
I mean,
that.
who's
Okay.
to say that they still
They ain't
have
gonna do it.
They
grounds
still
to
can.
they still can
They
do
can't.
that.
They can do that, but Deion ain't gonna do that because that would risk too much for your next son coming up and possibly that position in
Well,
Oregon
speaking.
Well,
coming up.
Shiloh was
Shiloh
with
just signed with Tampa as an
he's with
undrafted
Tampa.
free agent.
Yeah.
Oh, he did. I see. I missed
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
you
with
didn't know
he
that too? Yeah, Shallow
yeah.
already out of there.
So,
Shallow, he older than Shedeur.
you
Yeah.
know that's on TikTok, Tub.
I
and
missed
and
that one.
and you know that and let's be honest. If they start doing that, Colorado is going to come in there and say, "Hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, Dion, are you sure that's what you want to do? You know what I'm
That's what
saying?
I'm saying. It's a lot to come with that. So if you were gonna pull a move like that, you better sue for enough money to sit you and your family down forever, which you
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
can,
Well, that's probably
which you
why he's
can
not doing it.
because
Yeah, and then
even
the NFL is
even
going to
with
drag that out. They're going to drag that out.
no, they ain't.
They're going
No, they ain't.
Bro,
yeah.
No,
You'd be
they
shit.
ain't.
surprised, man.
how can you
They gonna
prove it
settle.
though? 'Cause he went in
Yeah.
round 5, and there's
Yeah.
players, the comparable players that went in round 5. So
Yeah.
Okay, you prove it. How do you prove it? You subpoena the phone records. You subpoena
All they
email records.
That's how they
You
got groove. That's how
subpoena
they got groove. They
Yeah,
they
but
had to
you
go
talking
through,
about the big lips and all that stuff. When
yeah,
Drew was talking about the lips
all
and
that
all
other
that.
crazy stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
So they got the records from. They said they had to look for that. It was so long that they had to go through all that stuff, man. So they had to hire a whole staff to go through that stuff, man.
So I gotta ask this, guys. So why did Travis Hunter go so early and Shedeur didn't?
because his name got
If Travis
Sanders.
is right up under Deion though, he's right up under Deion. He went
His
everywhere Deion
name,
went. He went to
Mm-hmm.
Jackson State because of Deion.
But
Because his
they,
last name
man,
ain't Sanders.
there
Travis,
you go.
see, Travis a good kid, man. Just Travis don't do nothing but play the video game and chase behind that crazy behind girl. That's
I
all
mean,
he do.
Shadeur's not a bad kid, but again,
Right.
like you say, I
But that
think
flashiness, dog, not being humble.
yeah. I mean, hey,
You
I'm not
don't
disagreeing
have
with
to.
you. I'm
You
not
don't like
disagreeing
that.
with you at all. I'm just saying part of that. I mean, and let's be honest, part of this is some of the same old good old boy thing to let Deion, you know what I'm saying? Like let Deion know, let everybody else know that as a when you black, yeah. Archie Manning did it. John Elway did it. Jim Kelly did it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
All these guys did it. But guess
But
what you is? Guess
I've
what
been,
you is, and guess what they is, and you ain't.
And you
They
ain't.
white,
but
and you ain't
but
white.
yeah, that right there. And I've been associated with the NFL for 30 years, and ain't nobody been able to tell me shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not a
Yeah,
damn thing.
But
and
see,
guess
that's what
what?
I'm saying.
And then
It
and
would
for
have
them,
more impact on the league and on black people. Actually, it would help the league. It would help the players in the league if the Sanders family did that and said, well, you know what, we gonna sue y'all. Now, two things gonna happen out of that. They gonna try it. You say Shiloh got drafted by the by
No,
Tampa Bay.
he signed as an
He signed
undrafted free agent.
Undrafted. And he was gonna go. He was
UDA.
gonna go
Hold on,
undrafted.
hold
He
on.
wasn't. He wasn't a top safety. He
yeah, he
wasn't.
wasn't gonna get
Right,
drafted
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He wasn't
He's
even in the
like
top 100.
he's
but
basically taking the
that's not the
HBCU
point.
route. He's taking the
Exactly.
HBCU route.
That's
Undrafted free
not the point.
agents.
That's not the point. So anything that he's actually that would actually help him because anything that you do to him, cut him, anything that you do,
Hmm.
it looked like retaliation once you drop that
Right.
lawsuit. So he's still in the league.
Retaliation.
Okay. Okay.
Both of them will still be in the league because you can't take them out the league in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Even if they are terrible, you can't take them out while that lawsuit going. So all they have to do is just play on the caliber that they've been playing. That's number one. Number two, with the publicity behind that, and the league know, oh, we got all these emails, we got all this stuff. Even if you deleted it, you can't purge none of that. There's video of it. I guarantee you there's video of it. So that will impact, and they can no longer do this ever again if you drop the lawsuit on. So that's why I'm saying there's no downside for the Sanders family to just go on and say, fuck you, NFL, we're going to sue.
Yeah. Well.
Well,
There is no downside. And ain't
what-
nobody saying that. So you heard it here first.
yes, sir.
Anybody say it after this, y'all know where you heard it first.
You heard it from the
That's
one and
that's
only.
what they should do.
But
hey, and then there's an even better way. There's even a better way for what I'm saying. Let Shedeur do it. Let Shedeur sue him. You know what I'm saying? Keep Deion
And
keep
damn the
Deion
cutting.
out of it.
That's who
Keep
would have to.
Deion
That's
out
who
of
would
it.
have to do it. It should
Yeah.
do. It would have to be Shedeur.
Yeah, let Shedeur do it, and then that way Deion is like, well, this ain't, like, hey, he's a grown man. I'm not, he's making his own decision. I can't tell him not to do this. So that kind of keeps his hands clean in the situation. And like you say, for Shedeur, what the hell is he giving up? Like $4 million? I mean, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because they're saying like
he made
now
more than that talent.
he's only worth like $4 million.
4.6. 4.6.
Yeah.
That's
So
all
you
the contract will pay for where he
yeah.
went.
So you're absolutely right. It's only like it would, like, for him, it wouldn't make, you know what I'm saying? Like it would it don't make nothing but sense for him to sue the league.
All right, so let me throw this out there then, guys. So should there be some players like we just talked about a guy Nash that San Jose State? He didn't get drafted at all. Should he sue?
There's no collusion in his case.
Why is that? I mean, his statistically he was He was
Who
the
the
best
controversy
receiver in
about
the
four on
country.
one?
If he has evidence of it, see
Yeah,
if she,
if you got evidence, yeah, but
then by
all the
all
controversy
means.
about Shedeur.
I don't
Now,
think. Yeah, I mean,
if he
the
has no
realistic part of
evidence,
what
then
was.
they can go in as a class action lawsuit against the league if he has
Yeah,
evidence of
they can go
abuse.
in together. Yeah.
But
Well, I
right
mean,
now,
but
Shedeur has evidence.
I was going
This
to
is
say, I
clear
think
cut
that's the.
collusion.
I think that's the biggest thing is like with the guy Nash. You know what I'm saying? I think Shador just has. It's just like his is it's blatant. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, like you said with some of these other things, man, like the talent level and some guys being able to do this and some guys being able to do that, you can kind of wash some of that stuff out. But like like Philly said, man, when you got definite number ones and number twos, and I don't give a damn what draft it is, whether it's a quarterback heavy draft or if it's a quarterback light draft. If it's the number one and number two quarterbacks, them mugs is gone off that. You know what I'm saying? They
Mm-hmm.
gone.
And
They
Yep.
gone.
then you gotta think about Nash. Nash come from San Jose State. If he was from USC or somewhere and was the number one receiver, then he have a what's called. But by
But
him being from San Jose State, they probably looking at him like he was a long shot anyway.
yeah, we the level. Like you said,
The
that
level of
how
talent.
yeah,
But I
we'll
mean,
like
who did
the same
Colorado beat?
way.
Who
Yeah,
did
the
they
same
beat?
way that the
Who did
same
he
way
rack
that
numbers up on? Who did Sanders rack numbers up on?
It don't matter,
The
dog.
same conference that all of us have said is a weak conference on defense, and then he did it 2 years prior in the HBCU conference. I'm just throwing this stuff out there because that's stuff
yeah.
that I've heard. So I just want to get y'all opinions
Hey
on that.
bro,
Hey,
look here.
what's buddy name real quick?
I ain't even lying, man. Last night when all that went on, I went to YouTube
Yeah,
and they had all 4 years of that boy playing football. His highlights.
yeah.
You that boy didn't miss a throw, bro. You talking about he got a weak arm? I seen him dying it in there, bro.
Yeah.
They say he one of the most accurate, brother. They came
Yeah,
out of draft.
they say the most accurate.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was my
74%.
evaluation. That yeah,
So
he's more accurate than Cam.
And then
I
when I
mean,
watched the thing, man, that boy had at least about 20 touchdown run. He had a 50-yard in there.
Can I
yeah,
throw something in there real quick? So
yeah,
y'all brought up Nash. So this is how you do it, and I'm taking it to a legal side. If Shedeur files a lawsuit, that means he gets access to every email, phone call, video throughout the league, all teams, to see where their collusion is. If they can find clear-cut collusion in his case, or let's say and they just happen to find some in Nash, there's nothing stopping them from pushing that over to
Class
Nash's
action.
label
yeah.
and say,
Class
"Hey, man,
action.
maybe you should just join this lawsuit because we got a little evidence that shows that they colluded against you too." See, this is why I say the more impactful thing to do would be to drop the lawsuit, because one thing about these good old boys, when they get together and they've done something for so long, they get real sloppy.
mm-hmm.
This was real sloppily done, but they so used to doing this because they've done this thousands of times. I'm more than sure they done this long time. So they ain't really worried about no cover up because nobody ever dropped a lawsuit. The lawsuit would be more for the NFL as a whole, for the players in the NFL, if they were to do that. And you would submit your legacy more so doing that than by Shedeur coming in and being, let's say he becomes the next Tom Brady. That impact for him would only benefit him and his family. It
Yeah,
wouldn't benefit the league. So if you went the lawsuit route, you will forever be enshrined. And which that's what Deion worried about is my legacy. He's my legacy type person. So if you worried about your legacy, do that.
Man, until you just got me thinking about something. Y'all just hear me out for this for a second. To take that one more level, if he would have stayed at Jackson State and the same thing happened, imagine how much more that would have impacted
Yeah, he would
all
have
the
had an even bigger case.
all
Yep.
the all the other guys that get overlooked and have to go the undrafted route
mm-hmm.
But
that come
but look here.
from
But
those
look
schools.
here. That wouldn't stand because of Steve McNair.
No,
Same thing. He was at ABCU for 4 years, and they was talking that same shit when he came out, and
yep.
he got drafted number 5.
No, what I'm saying, if this happened to Dora
But
and
he
he
didn't. He
didn't
didn't
get
have to go.
drafted,
He didn't have to go undrafted though.
yeah, but like we were just saying, this will help uncover if you want to add other people to it. Why don't the guys that have to go the undrafted route that are NFL caliber? Because we got a ton of them in the league now that have gone undrafted and they're in the league starting and playing right now, and they probably
But
not getting drafted because of where they went to school. I'm saying you could tie that into Shedeur, saying the same
I don't
scenario
know if
kind of
you're
That
gonna
happened.
do that
that
because
would be that be a stretch, but you
if you
could.
was the 15th safety, you the 15th safety, and say
Yeah.
Shiloh was the number 200 safety, you'll have something like that. You know what I'm saying? You'll
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
have something to go against. But you got to understand, it's players that played 1 year in college at a no-name school that they made the league as an
Hmm.
undrafted free agent.
My point with the whole thing is that you have more impact dropping a lawsuit than you would ever have playing one down in the NFL. It hands down,
Well,
and
for sure.
I think this a golden opportunity to change some things. We push the line so much on how we treat it in these sports and why we don't have ownership stakes in these sports. This is one way to goddamn get that ball rolling because you're gonna put the NFL in such a bad light that they're gonna have to do something super drastic to change public perception, or else you dealing with another Kaepernick situation. And that Kaepernick situation, I don't care how people say it, they're all well black folks back watching it. Not at the level that they was, number one, and number two, it cost the league billions of dollars, not millions. By their own admission, that whole 4 years with Kaepernick cost
Cause
them
they
billions.
they still haven't disclosed what the what's
The
called was
settlement. They'll
the
never
Yep.
settlement.
disclose what the settlement it was, but it was apparently it was enough to where Colin Kaepernick ain't too much worried about it.
Oh yeah, Colin ain't worried about
I ain't
that.
seen him work in 8 years.
Yeah.
That man, he ain't
Yeah.
gonna have to work ever because the money that they paid him was probably more than he would have ever made in his whole entire NFL career.
Hmm.
So that's what I'm saying for Shedeur. I wouldn't even worry about it. I'm not finna get involved with
Hey, bro,
his foolishness. Give me my lawyer.
hey, what we just said over at what's called what was the topic we was discussing this morning?
Yep.
Shannon wanted to pay, so what? He can get that out not to be public. That's
And
that's
that
what that's what Kaepernick did. So
that's what the NFL would do. It's no
players so
downside
it
to
won't
it.
never come to light.
Yes it will, because as soon as he filed the lawsuit, it's out there.
No,
Mm.
I ain't talking about him. I'm talking about Kaepernick.
Well,
It,
Kaepernick chose the money. What we also talked
yeah, he
about.
took the settlement.
Hold on. What did we also talk about when I talk about Mr. 401 and when they come knocking at your door?
Yep.
It's on you to take it.
Don't
That was
worry.
saying he took the
Everybody
he took
everybody
the
got everybody got a number. All you need, all for this to be impactful, all you need is the lawsuit itself to come out, and the fact that they settled with you is what they call a case
but
precedent.
I know, but what I was telling you about when they said it was a silver case, it was a silver case. It wasn't no what's called case, criminal case.
Well, this
So
would be this is a criminal case, right?
it's not a criminal case.
I mean, not you right, you right. It's not a criminal
Yeah.
case,
It's not criminal.
but you can get
It'll
it.
be a silver lawsuit.
It's a civil lawsuit, but you can get your money and still have
Oh
that
yeah, you can get
impact
your
out
money,
of
but you can't never tell the truth though, bro.
if he take the settlement.
You can't never let the findings come out.
If he don't take the settlement, then it's all gonna come out. So it's on him whether he gonna take the settlement or not. And that's where it get a little tricky.
Shit,
Do you want
If
the
he
money
take
or
that
do you want to
settlement,
go down in history?
if he
Because you're
go
gonna
ahead
get
and
the
do
money.
that,
he take the settlement, it won't never come out.
I was about to say his football career is pretty much over
Oh,
before
it's
it starts.
finito.
So
Yeah, it's
he gonna
done.
get the money regardless. There is no way, shape, form, or fashion that he will not get the money if it go to trial or if it don't go to trial. It
That
just
ain't gonna
means
go to
that
trial.
when
They ain't gonna let it go to trial.
They will have to let it go to trial. They can't stop it. The only person that can stop it from going to trial, if you file a
They
lawsuit, the only
they're
person
gonna
that can
put
stop it.
If he's
they'll
settlable,
put so many
That's
zeros and
what I said.
commas behind that.
It
They
don't
ain't gonna let
matter.
that
that's
come
what I'm
out.
saying. If they said we gonna give you 400 million
Yeah, I'm
And
quiet
I
as a
say
church
that ain't
mouse.
and
enough.
settle it and just settle it
I would
for
say that
400
ain't
million.
enough. They would actually
Shit,
put
damn
a
a
$1 billion
football. I'm tell you what
They
I
say
say.
it would be
Damn
a
a
$1 billion
football.
lawsuit on that one.
I'm just, I'm just telling you, and I'm a man of principle. If it ain't about my child, talking about a football, shit, damn football.
I would say this would be if they did do that, guarantee it's gonna be $1 billion lawsuit. Now they $1 million, now they $100 million lawsuit. This would be $1 billion lawsuit because the NFL cannot absorb that kind of bad press. They
Now,
already getting bad press about this. If he just files the lawsuit, there is no downside to it. Is my point. Yes, he might settle, and more likely they're gonna settle, and it don't come out, but it's out there.
Yeah, but if he don't sell it, he ain't gonna get no money.
That what
He ain't gonna get no money.
he will win this case. There's
And
no.
do you know how hard it'll be for? I'm saying the collusion, but do you know how hard this shit is to
I-
prove, bro?
That's
but
why
that
you
that was
have
gonna be
it
my
where it's
next
called
question.
discovery.
Well,
That's
that's
why
my next question. What if it does? What if he can't prove it?
And how
Then
many
what?
people they'll pay off?
if you can't prove it, fine. Then you settle. They still gonna settle. But once I subpoena those phone records, you cannot. Let me tell you something. Everything that's dealing with the draft is recorded. It's recorded. It's recorded. All they got audio recording. They got video recording. They have email transactions. You cannot destroy an email. There's nothing. There's no mechanism in place that way you could destroy
That's
the
right.
email. And if you destroy it, then that is clear that you destroy evidence and you go to jail for that.
Hey,
So
And
that's
bro.
then
why I'm saying
okay,
there's no downside.
Hey, bro. That's how Nixon got in trouble.
so
Yes.
there might be some stuff behind there that it may not even deal with this that might be on there. So
Exactly. So they that's why I say they cannot have none of this shit. Even if it's not dealing with Shedeur. If any type of chicanery is found in this, any type, the NFL ain't in no position to be like, hey man, what y'all say on that? Y'all say this. If you call somebody a nigga on there, even if it ain't him, that's gonna come out. So you can't have none of that come out. None of it.
but will the Sanders family? Would they be the people that you think would do this? I know you
Uh,
say that's what they should do, but do we think that they're the type of people that will do it?
that depends on Deion.
I would
Yeah.
probably say
That would
no.
solely depend on that.
I'll
That
tell you
ain't
like
no
I'll
Shador.
tell you
That
like this,
depends on
man.
Deion.
Dion ain't got enough money. Fit
He
them little
will. He
54
will if
million.
he sue.
Them
He will if
54
he
million,
sue.
them 54 million he done got, and that little money that he done got over his career, that's just a drop in the bucket, dog.
He will if he
The money coming from the NFL.
he will if he
Hell,
sue.
the Cowboy worth 11 million itself. Imagine the
Yeah,
whole league put together. 11
Mm.
yeah.
billion now. That's just one team.
That's what I'm
I think
saying.
the NFL
Man,
would have Jerry call Deion, and they will, tell
They
Yeah.
him
gonna
to
stroke a
stand
check.
down from
They
that.
gonna stroke $1 billion check, guarantee. It whether it come from Jerry Jones, whether it come from the NFL, whether it come from, they might bring in a charity and say, "Hey man, we give them $2 billion out this fund we got over here." It's gonna be $1 billion lawsuit,
Hey, I'm
regardless.
gonna
That
tell.
family will be forever good.
This gave me an idea what the league probably is going to do to help Shador make his money back that he lost in this situation. They're going to tell him to be quiet. Go ahead. You already going to make the Browns. He going. They'll find a way to get him starting. And I mean, he's
they'll
going
give him
he's
all
going
that
to
money back. Yeah.
he's going to get his money. They're going to make
But
sure he get his money.
they gonna
You know
make
what I
sure he get
mean?
his money, but they don't want the embarrassments that gonna come along with what they did. That's my
Well, yeah,
point.
that's why they got to make it right, and they're going to make it right by making sure he maxes out. On his contracts. I mean, they're going to make sure he get all that back because they know that the PR
I'm
nightmare.
talking
They
about
made sure he.
I'm talking about whatever he want to hold out for, or whatever. They gonna make sure
Hmm
it get done right.
Oh
But
yeah.
even with that, the impact, I'm saying that
Yeah, that's
money
no.
that they promise him that we're gonna make this right on the tail end, we're gonna make this right. That money pales in comparison to the money that you will get if they settle out this lawsuit.
Yeah,
And that's why I keep pushing the line for this, and nobody is talking about this. And I've been on everybody program trying to figure out who gonna say it.
yeah.
God damn it,
No,
we
I
gonna
mean
say
it
it
make it
first.
No,
makes sense. They
no.
just got to be willing to do it.
It's
And
being said here. It's being
yeah,
said here. Yep. But
yeah,
it just
I'm with you. If they would, but they you know what comes with that? He got to be willing to, you
yeah.
know, be willing to step away from the game, something that he want to do
They paid
because
enough to step away from the game. They got enough money in reserve to any law firm would take
bro,
this case. Any law
bro.
firm.
Why you think Muhammad Ali family never heard it for anything after them 70s? Cause they know how they did that man.
Uh-huh.
They knew how they did that man. That his family never was hurting for anything after, cause when it was found out that they did him wrong,
They
they
pay.
they had
They
to go back
paid
and
on
pay
the
him
money.
all that money he lost.
Yeah,
You see?
but I think the deal is right now is who's going to be a Muhammad Ali have that much Muhammad
Well,
Ali in them
your
to
boy
sit back.
Kaepernick did
But
until he settled.
yeah, like who's got enough of that in them to do it? And that's the ultimate thing here.
The
Uh,
sacrifice is the
yeah,
sacrifice.
yeah,
yeah,
Everybody settles, and the only thing about it is can I financially weather the
Can I
storm
weather the storm?
till it get there. They're in a position. That's why I'm saying this. You in a
Man,
position where you can financially
hey,
weather the
I
storm.
mean,
Let me tell you
you
hey,
ain't
one
got to
thing
convince
away.
me. I think it's smart. I didn't even think of that, but I mean, it's a hell of a position to
it's a
be in.
it's a hell of a move to make, and
Yeah,
it will be a earth shattering move.
I
hey,
Like
mean,
they have so much dope planning on Deion land out there in Texas.
It don't matter. I go to prison because that ain't got no bearing. One ain't got no bearing on the
Shit,
other.
the hell are you say your ass been to go to jail?
See, and I take that because it's Shedeur's lawsuit, not Dion's lawsuit.
Yeah,
yeah, but
they'll
they
fuck him
connected.
up. Man,
Yeah, they all
just
connected.
just think about how many folks been killed by powerful men. And these are powerful men, bro.
Yeah,
I don't care. I don't care because we all know they ain't gonna really let it go to trial. They gonna settle. All
yeah.
I'm saying is that you gonna make this. I'm gonna make that settlement amount so fucking high that you gonna think twice about doing this again. Y'all, it's gonna be a long time before y'all ever try this mess again.
But they'll never do it again
Bullshit, they won't never do it again. If they get away with it, they gonna
uh,
do it again.
well, that's what I'm saying. If they don't get away with it, how can they do it again?
Well, I just watched
If
this.
they lose and settle the trial,
Because
Hey,
if
I
you
got
run
I
that
got
risk,
something to add to it.
hear me
a
out.
settlement
But
is
let me
just like you
finish.
saying we did it. A settlement
Yeah.
is just like saying we did it,
So
right?
if I run that settlement amount, they gonna look next time they think about doing this. All right, we can do it. But last time it cost us $2 billion. What is gonna cost us this time?
well, I
And
wonder
that's
what
not
this.
even including the bad. That's not even including loss of sponsorship, bad publicity, boycotts. It's a big price tag. So the whole point of it is
I
why
know, I
is to
know, but
really
that's just
run
like
that
we were
run
saying.
that cost up so high that you will
Can
never
I
do it
add
again.
something?
Yeah, go
Can I
ahead,
add
Perry.
something? Did y'all hear about the fact that his private number that nobody had, only the NFL teams had,
Got
got
leaked.
leaked?
Got leaked. Yep.
Yeah,
And they did a crank. Somebody did a crank call, acting like they were from the Saints.
yeah.
Yep.
Well,
Now the NFL is probing, trying to figure out who gave his number out.
yeah, it was
Who
some
So,
guy.
gave his number out?
It was
Who
some
did?
kids from Ole Miss that did that.
How did
but
they
how
get
did
it?
they get the number?
Wasn't nobody but the GM supposed to have that number.
Yeah,
How
Exactly.
did they get that number? See, so it's a lot of evidence there that if they, and I hope this makes it to the Sanders family. I hope Mr. 411 is recording this and puts this up on his page so
it
it
will
can
be.
go viral.
It's going on
So
the
it
page,
can
bro.
get to the Sanders family that you should sue. There is no downside to this. And I'm saying this, and I hope somebody listening. I just be yelling in the wind sometimes. But I hope somebody hear this. Deion Sanders, Shedeur Sanders, sue the league. Sue the league.
Yeah.
Y'all will be big, instant billionaires.
Yeah.
Because they gonna make an offer so high before it even come out in the press. When as soon as you file that lawsuit and them lawyers get at the subpoena over there to the NFL and say, hey, we intend on filing the lawsuit, they gonna get on the phone. All the owners gonna get on the phone and say, hey man, you're gonna have to put up this much, you're gonna have to put up this much, you're gonna put up this much, and they're gonna come to sound and say, before this come out in the media, will you settle for this amount?
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Man,
whatever that
Well,
amount is,
who's to say that those wheels aren't in motion? So yeah, it's a power
Yeah.
move, but
well,
they
it's
keep it
Hey,
quiet.
I watched CBS Sports last night. The one that Damian Harris that used to play with Alabama be on
yeah.
Yeah,
headquarters. It was a dude on there debating with Damian Harris. He was so mad. A white dude, old white dude. He was so mad. He was trying to prove his point so bad. And they were going the other way on him, just like we going the other way. And bruh, he got so mad. I'm talking about his face turned red.
Mhm.
No, they didn't. They would never do nothing like that. Well, bro, what you talking about? You just a reporter.
Yeah.
because they have a vested, everybody has a vested interest in this don't going forward. Not only the NFL, but the media also, because
ESPN, Fox Sports, NBC, ABC.
Everybody
Yeah,
eating off of this, man.
yep.
everybody was in on this. You don't think
Anytime my wife,
somebody
who's
told
not a
them
sports fan, was asking me about Shedeur, and she ain't even a sports fan.
Well,
She's like, "What's going on with the Shedeur guy not getting drafted?"
well, you know why though? Because that's the celebrity piece of it right there too. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
so
So
leverage that. I would
Mm-hmm.
say there is no downside, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I
I
hope
mean,
somebody has sense enough to say
I'm
this.
with you. I mean,
I
I
mean,
feel it would be a
the
boss move to do
humiliation
that.
factor is enough.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That what he go out there tomorrow and commit suicide.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they really gonna pay.
Wow,
Just
And
man.
like
he ended up on a team that he wouldn't want to play
just
for.
like I think them folks down at Louisiana, them news stations and all that, about that boy Kyrie Lacy killing himself.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
And let me say this.
I
Hold on,
bet you his mama them bring a lawsuit.
time
yeah,
Oh
I
out,
yeah.
bet.
Brown.
yeah.
Let's put this disclaimer out because you said something that's a no to the YouTube. No, we are not. The Mr. 401 Sports World Network does not advocate self deletion in any way, shape, form, or fashion. The views expressed on there
Yeah, saying. I
the
understand what you're
individuals and
saying.
not
Well,
401 Sports
he,
World Network as a whole. We have
he's
to put
saying that
that
because
disclaimer
this.
out because they will
He's saying that this
misconstrue
because
that.
it's my. He's saying that because it's my fourth time restarting YouTube.
That's why I
Yeah.
have to put that disclaimer out there. We have to be very careful what we say on these platforms. So
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
hey, I'm
I
gonna
Yeah,
kill it
will,
right now. Allegedly, allegedly.
allegedly unalive.
you can't say that word. You can't say that word, bro.
Yeah.
Unalive is the word.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
We have to be careful when we say that.
But
Yep.
what I'm saying, you see what I'm saying though, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
not
You
wrong.
don't think it's
I'm not
yeah. We
disagreeing.
agree. Yeah,
I'm just saying by
yeah,
what happened,
yeah.
all that pressure was on that kid, man.
Right.
And they said that kid was allegedly uh he just drove off. He wasn't even involved in the accident.
Wow.
They
Wow.
said allegedly he just drove off.
Yeah, a lot of the outlets said that, and the
Allegedly.
media pressure pushed him to do what he did, and that's sad. And our hearts do go out to his family about that.
Yep.
I think that you made a good point, Brown, but I think that for the sake of the algorithm, we need to move on past this.
Yeah.
That particular topic right now.
But with all being said,
But I was just tying that in. What
yeah,
what
that's
what
We get you.
allegedly
You're
what it
not
should do
wrong.
had that type of shit on his mind.
You're not wrong at all. Like
With that
I can't get
embarrassment.
no argument on our behalf on that, bro. You are absolutely right.
well. I'm gonna say this. I think that Shedeur, because of his family structure, I think even though this has occurred, he has enough infrastructure where he will be okay. And I
Yeah.
think that at the end of the day, he's still drafted. He's definitely, no matter what anybody wants to say, he's definitely an NFL quarterback. Is he the second best player in the NFL, like Deion said? No. But is he a player that should not be drafted? Of course not. He should be drafted. And 5 is where he landed. He will definitely have his opportunity in the NFL to do what he got to do. Now, do I think it's going to be with Cleveland guys? I got a
No.
feeling Cleveland. I got a feeling Cleveland going to cut him.
Oh yeah.
and then I
Oh yeah.
think he's going to land somewhere else,
Yeah,
and then
he's
he's
gonna end
going to
up
get
either
in.
in either KC affiliate team like that don't
Right.
need him. That's gonna build them up. They get leads. They're gonna be blowing the team out. They're gonna put a system in place to help
Preseason,
him shine. You know what I'm
preseason.
saying? Yep.
Well,
And then
hey,
they
think
and
about
then
this here though, dog. Think
yeah.
Yeah,
about this right here. What better place to win at? If he win at Cleveland, he would be just like LeBron winning in Cleveland, bro.
yeah, but I mean,
The
I'm saying,
man said he was a culture changer.
but I
But
don't know if he has a chance to do it.
The owner is not going to. If Cleveland didn't want him, and that was kind of one of those
The
take
lead forced it.
Well,
one of the lead
I
force.
understand that, but what if he
But hear me out.
what
Hear
if
me
he
out.
beat everybody out though, bro?
You gotta
But
hear him
Yeah,
out,
it
Brian. You gotta hear him
it is
out.
a
Let him get it off.
possibility.
is.
That's what
It's
I'm
a
saying. You still
possibility.
got a chance to beat everybody out.
I, I understand it, but at the same time, you know how some of these teams operate. If
Yeah,
they don't like a guy, they will not put that kid or
in a
that guy in
position.
a position to be
Right.
successful. It has been proven, and you can see it. You know what I mean? That they can. You be like, well, why they need receivers, but they keep on drafting linemen. They need this, and they put until they get their guy in place. GMs do it all the time. If they didn't draft a guy, all those guys that they didn't draft got targets on their back, and they're gonna be out of there. Every last player know that. So that's why
John Gruden. John Gruden.
exactly.
Well,
And he
even
came,
now, even being drafted by Cleveland, okay,
yeah,
we can the people. I'm gonna say we. I'm just saying fans, right? The fandom can be happy that he finally got drafted,
yeah,
but when you sit back and let it settle for a minute, you're like, wait a minute,
This some
Cleveland?
bullshit. This some
dude.
Yeah,
bullshit.
Listen,
like he's not in the right
my
spot.
last thing, real quick. If
Yeah,
y'all go back and watch the draft tape, it's on. The draft is on right now.
yeah,
You look at that GM and you look at that coach when they were about to make that pick. You could tell it was a tense conversation that they was having. Somebody made a phone call to Andrew Barry and said, "Pick this kid up. Philly's gonna get him. Pick this kid up to get him in a situation where he has the possibility to start.
And, and
So we
what's
can
that
put this
evidence
to
of?
bed."
What's that
And
evidence
you could
of?
tell that you can tell it was a tense because the head coach didn't want to do it.
What you just said. You made an excellent point just now. Now, what is that evidence of?
Exactly.
Collusion.
So yeah,
well, and
That's clear cut collusion right there.
yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
So,
Yeah, yeah. I
so
mean, yeah, because that's what I'm saying. I agree with all y'all, man. I don't think he's going to end up. I don't think he's going to end up in Cleveland.
No, he's not.
Terry, that'd be a great story. But even if he beats those guys out, then he got to go through the season of playing for Cleveland,
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that. But this is
and,
what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. He
that's
said,
not going.
"Wherever."
That's not going to go
Remember
well.
what he said. Now, wherever I go,
Mhm.
I'm gonna be a culture changer and I didn't change Jackson State in Colorado and all that.
Yeah,
Boy, hey, boy,
and
they'll think he a damn prophet. He win in Cleveland.
yeah, I will, but I'll say this, and I'm the biggest proponent of Jackson State and HBCU and everything, but they came in with an advantage because they came in with guys who normally don't choose the HBCU teams.
Mhm.
Jackson State was getting those guys, so they had a talent advantage all the way up to the championship game, like until the Celebration Bowl. They had a clear advantage. Colorado, that was a bottom team, so there was not. If you win any games, you did better than what you did coming back, and then they
Yeah.
had the fan base behind it, so it was a little bit more hyped up than the reality. Plus the conference that they were in, so he was in situations that were winnable situations. Now you in the NFL where that window is slim to none. So
Yeah,
I
I
get what
said.
he's saying, but it ain't like he did it either because he had Travis Hunter too that came
don't,
along over there too.
Hey, but
don't do that,
think about
bro.
this here. Travis Hunter can't do nothing without the ball.
Yeah, that is true.
That
He
part.
can't, but
That's the thing about
there's another. There's
when they be
another.
talking about receivers and receivers
Okay,
versus running back.
that's fair.
I can hand the ball off all day to a running back. It ain't that hard.
Well, that's
He,
fair,
he,
but Travis Hunter.
he got to have a great offensive line though.
But let's be fair now. Travis Hunter about to have a receiver that's better than Shedeur right now, and Trevor Lawrence.
Man,
So
please,
Travis,
man, please.
hold on. You got
Trevor
Travis.
Lawrence better than
Trevor
Shador.
Lawrence has played in the NFL.
And what have he done?
Shedeur has
Not a
not.
damn thing. Not a
Oh,
damn
come
thing.
on, man.
You beating up on up under the wrong bush with that one now.
Well,
Trevor Lawrence, everybody,
well,
there's a lot of people
Yeah,
saying
you
right
jumped
now.
off a bridge with that one, bro.
I'm
Yeah,
talking about Shedeur Sanders now versus uh
Yeah, I
versus
mean,
Trevor
what
Lawrence ain't
Shedeur
done
what Mr.
versus
nothing.
Ford
what
talking
Trevor
about. He's
Lawrence
talking
has
about
done,
he's
What
right?
he
talking about
done?
Travis Lawrence been in the league. He understands NFL
Yeah, it's
defenses.
a whole
The
different level
speed of
right
the
now.
game is different. The field
Yes,
structure is different. Everything is it's little tweak that
Shedeur
Sunshine
hasn't
have
seen
over
any of
Shador
that
right
yet.
this minute
Right.
Bro,
until
I'm
Trevor
saying
Shador
as
has
Lawrence
of
ain't
over
right
had
him.
number
now,
one good year, bro.
he's
That's
had
it.
he's been in the NFL a lot longer. Now, let's be
Yeah.
fair about
What
this now.
that
He
mean?
had. I see what you're
What you
saying. He
mean?
has
What it
Yeah.
means?
I see what you saying, but
but
that don't mean that.
yeah,
Just
I'm
I
saying
know
because
what
you,
I
you're
mean,
saying, but
I
that
mean,
don't
it
mean
takes
I
he
just
has.
made a
it's
statement. That's true.
it's
That's what
valid in
it's
some
not true.
aspects.
It's
It
true to
is.
that
you.
was a crazy
It's
statement, bro.
true.
It's
Because
It
true
is
to you.
true. It
right
is
now,
true.
Flacco at 36 is better than Shador because he's been in those NFL rooms. He know how to prepare. He know how to take care of his body. He's been through,
He's, he's
18
had to.
games, 16, 17, 18 game seasons and preparing for playoffs. He been on a Super Bowl run. You
He's
know what I'm
been through
saying? So
training camps.
he knows how
He's been
the
hit by
Okay,
NFL
so
guys.
so so
exactly. Yeah.
so
So
is
yeah.
Flacco better than Jalen? They done the same stuff.
Right
That's
Oh,
not
now, no,
absolutely.
because
no.
That's true.
Jalen
That's true.
accomplished so
That's
Jalen
Right.
true. They
accomplished
done
those
did
Right.
the same stuff. So
Jalen
if he
accomplished
that
those goals
do that
now.
make it
But what is
true?
no?
Do
Hold
that
on.
make it true?
What is Jalen Hurts done that Shador has not done yet?
I'm talking about Flacco and Jalen. Don't do that.
No,
So,
no, no,
so
no.
Answer the
But
question.
I did
Answer the
answer the
question.
question. I did. If you
It's
heard me,
true.
I answered it.
no, you're
So
When
saying
what I just
again
said
when
ain't true.
When
Hold on,
So
Jalen's a
Terry.
rookie,
you
yeah,
said what I
No,
just
no, no,
said is true.
Terry. Hold on a second, bro. Hold on. You made your point. We both said true to what you said.
Nah, you said
Oh,
what true.
no, I didn't. I said it was true. When you said Flacco versus Jalen Hurts, I said true because Jalen Hurts already played in the league.
yeah,
But my point was Shador hasn't even thrown an NFL pass yet.
yeah,
Man,
that's all we saying.
And you
He's a
disagree with
rookie.
that. But
that's
the
a
man ain't
whole
played the
subject to
NFL yet, brother.
opinion, bro.
He ain't played in the NFL yet, bro.
so let me ask y'all this.
So he ain't had a chance to even make NFL mistakes yet.
So
Y'all,
so
y'all, y'all,
so
hey,
so once again, is Jalen Hurt Flacco? Is it true? Is they on the same projection?
Well, no, Jalen's
No,
better.
no, not projection. Is it true that Flacco is just as good as Jalen Hurt?
At a certain point in
No,
his career,
right
yeah,
now
he
I would
was.
take Hurts over
At,
Flacco.
yeah,
Hurts is
when
better than
Flacco was at the
Flacco.
But they
height of his
done the same
career,
thing. So what
and
I'm trying to
Flacco,
get you to
No, no,
understand
no,
is
but at
put
the
objective.
them at
height
the
of
same. If you put
Flacco
them at the
no,
career,
same
no,
yes,
no,
point
he
in their
was an
career,
elite quarterback.
if you
Yeah,
put them at the same point in their career,
no.
yeah.
That's
Jalen
not
Hurts
what
is
I
better.
said, Hot Tub. No,
Uh,
I said today. I said
We
today.
talking rookie versus
I
veteran.
said today.
Yeah,
Trevor
that's it.
Lawrence greater than Shador. That's all I
Yeah,
said.
just today.
We
Just
can we
today.
can take out what we like about this guy and that guy.
Yeah,
That statement, take it as it is.
yeah.
He has more
Trev,
experience. I wouldn't say he's better. I can't say he's better than Shador
you
until
can't
we
say,
see
but you can't, but you
until we
can't
see
say
what
what Shador
Shador
done
does
because
in
he
the
ain't played in
NFL.
NFL. You can't say he's better. He ain't played in the league yet.
That's what I'm saying. So that's not a fair comparison.
It's not. I didn't say whether it was fair or
and
not. I
he
didn't say
know that
whether.
too.
I
He
didn't
know
say
that.
whether. I didn't
That's
say
that's
whether it was
that's
fair or
not.
not. I said what is it? What it
Well,
is.
that's a straw man argument
And that's
because
what I'm
he.
saying. It's subjective to
Okay.
subjective to what
Okay.
you want to say.
I'll tell you
If you
what.
say it's true,
I'll tell
I
you
can
what.
say it's not true.
Okay. I mean, you can say that.
It's all a
I
matter about
mean,
opinion, right?
But that
for
okay.
all I'm
I
gonna
think you're
say this.
misunderstanding the statement, but that's
All I'm
okay.
gonna
No,
say
I'm not
this. If you
No,
Yes,
misunderstanding
you
that,
are.
no,
bro.
Yes, you are.
we
Yes,
got
you
you,
are.
but
No,
It's
that's not
I'm
fine,
a
bro.
not.
fair comparison.
It's
That's
okay,
See,
bro.
I'm gonna tell you one thing about this here. You get bullheaded, and I can get just as
I'm
bullheaded.
not bullheaded, brother. I
Yes,
made a
you will.
statement.
Yes, you will.
No, I made a statement. You just didn't agree with
So
it.
if everybody make a statement, they make it true. Some
so
people
let me
can
That,
make a
that
statement and be a lie.
hold on, bro.
that's not what we're saying.
Let me kind of reset the room.
That's
Let me
not what
kind
we're
of reset
saying.
the room with this
That's not what
question.
we're saying.
Hold on. Let me
Tub,
reset
do
the
you
room with this
understand what I'm
question.
saying?
We get it. Let me reset the room. So
the
I would ask this
projection,
question. And this is a better question. Do you think it would be more beneficial for him to stay in the league and do all these scenarios that we said no, ain't none of this shit happen. So do you think with all them scenarios in place, he should stay in the league or should they sue? That's
Uh,
resetting everything because all this speculation ain't none
Hey,
of that
Tub, Tub,
I say, I
Tub.
mean, I think he could play it both ways. He
No,
can
I
go through
say Sue.
training. I say he could play it both ways. He can go through the whole training camp and see how Cleveland's going to treat him. And if he get any inkling that they not giving him the fair shot as everyone else on that team, then you go ahead and you file your lawsuit because you
But
already.
but 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 the
I
eye in the
mean,
sky don't lie now. Eye in the sky
yeah.
don't lie.
But you can play it both ways, or you could just go straight lawsuit, or just. I mean, it's all about what the kid want. I mean, the young
Well,
man want. He's not a kid. He's a young man. You know
here,
what I mean? What the
here's
young
here's
man
the
want.
thing with it. Here's the thing with it. The longer you let this drag out without making that decision, the longer you give the league to hide evidence. Right now, they cannot hide evidence. It's fresh. You don't need forensic computer scientists to go back and look up stuff. You don't need because it's an instant subpoena. And right now, it's more beneficial. It will be more beneficial to you and your family to
Hmm.
file this lawsuit now than to wait and play the waiting game. And let's see how they're gonna do, which gives them time, the league time, to clean up shit.
Yeah. Well,
So
I
all
it's.
this speculation,
I mean,
I don't even know how to answer the question because
yeah. I mean, it's a
if if,
50-50.
if you
It's what he want.
if you
Do he want to
sue
play or do he not?
if you sue you still got the opportunity to play because it can't be no retaliation.
Yeah.
exactly,
That's the workplace. That's the
exactly.
workplace. That's in everybody workplace thing.
That's what Brown. You got it. That's where I was trying to go with it. That's why I wasn't even entertaining all that other conversation because if they filed a lawsuit, there is no downside to whether you play good or bad. They can't get rid of you till the lawsuit play out.
You got them both ways.
Then you got them more ways with this, with the lawsuit. So why is we even going to down that who better than Trevor Lawrence? No, just file the lawsuit and play however you play because there's no downside for you. That's what I'm going at. Brown, you got it, bro.
I I would have been subject to that because that's what I used to do at my job. You know what I'm saying? You can't you if I go in there and tell them that you discriminating against me by me filing that and putting it on document paper, you cannot retaliate against me.
Everything negative that happens look like retaliation. So
That's right.
that's
All I
what
got to do is jot it down and present it.
that's it. That's it. And that goes for all the media coverage too. If the media is slanted against them, we know that the NFL has a lot of influence on what media outlets say, whether they admit it or not. Because those conversations can also be subpoenaed. I want to know what was said between Roger Goodell and Bob Eichner over there at Disney, or whoever over the ESPN portion of that at Disney.
Yeah.
I
Well, the
need,
answer,
I need to know.
I want to know who drug Deion.
I mean, at the end of the day, man, it's a compelling story. I mean, however this shape out, I think
That man
that
is say nothing, bro.
they need to do right by the young man and make sure that I mean he's taking care of both. I mean,
But
either
what does
way.
doing right look like? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Does doing right look
Yeah,
like that we
Yeah.
gonna
yeah.
just
I don't know.
we
I
gonna
mean,
give you this just because, and then we just hope this go away, and we are letting ourselves off the hook at a low ball price? Is that what doing right look like, or is doing right looking like I'm gonna put the whole league on blast, and you'll never be able to do this shit again because I'm gonna run the price tag up so high that you're gonna think 3 times before you do it again?
yeah.
Hey,
I
well,
mean,
the thing about
however they
it,
deem that is right, I would say do it.
he could have
You know
been
what I mean?
drafted to Kansas City, and if his play don't merit it, you know what I'm saying? You get what you get. You know what I'm saying? But by not filing a lawsuit, shit,
You
you
at their mercy. They can say
you
anything
had that
about
person.
Because I mean, the teams that didn't draft him, let's say the
Say
Saints.
about
The
all
Saints
them
could
teams
say
that
the
had a
Saints could
quarterback.
say, well, the guy that we drafted fit the metrics that we, what I mean, you know how they
It's
spin
so
this stuff,
subjective,
man.
yeah.
Yeah, they could say, oh, his arm strength here, this that,
What
because I've heard terms
they
that, oh,
said that.
he should only play in a dome because his arm strength. Oh, his lateral mobility. I'm like,
They
huh?
already made
Like, come
all them
on now.
things.
Yeah. I'm
They done
like, here
made
it is. We
all
got
them.
Kirk Cousins making he been getting teams for $100 million for the last freaking 6 years and did nothing in the
All
league. Oh,
guaranteed money.
come
All
on now.
guaranteed money.
Yeah.
Hold on,
So
let me address the room, Mr. Lee. It's not about whether the courts don't work for black folks or not. It's about, can the league absorb this kind of bad publicity?
well, no, they can't
Sometimes,
because trust me, it's gonna
exactly,
be another
because
Shedeur next year. It's gonna be another Shedeur
it's
next
gonna
year.
refer back to the Kaepernick situation, which is gonna
Yeah.
rip the band-aid off of that which has not fully healed, and you're gonna get a lot of backlash from your core audience. That's what I'm saying, Mr. Lee.
Hey, baseball ain't bounced back yet.
Exactly. You got to think chess, not checkers, bro.
Yeah.
But again, on top of that question, I think we all agree on the panel. Yeah, used to.
Yeah. Go
But
for it.
the next phase of that is, well, will they?
Yeah.
That's
And
the
that's why I was
that's
saying
the
it's up to
billion
them
dollar
what they
question
want to
right
do.
there.
You know. I
And
mean, would I seek legal counsel? Hell yeah, I would seek legal counsel if I was projected to go, what I mean, top 10, if not 15, and I end up in the fifth round and you looking at, everything that you lost and the
Yeah,
negative
but
publicity that became of your name. I
the
mean, they
thing
made a
about it is
mockery.
they made you an example.
Exactly.
hey, Mr. 411, look at Mr. Fat with Fat Evans statement and put that up on the screen.
What the SWAC comment?
No,
Or
no,
the
no,
other
no,
one?
no, no. Keep going up. He said, "My dad, a judge, said Shador has a great case. He can
Oh,
sue the
okay.
NFL. They violated his freedom of speech, the stress and pain of Shedeur Sanders, etc." So he's saying the pain and suffering, the embarrassment
Yeah.
that the family suffered, all of that has to be factored in. So everybody see it. Your whole comment section see it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh,
So
let's get that up
I
there.
ain't saying
Oh,
nothing
let
different.
me get the team up there. They gonna get it up there. Hold on. Yeah, yeah. That. Oh, go ahead, guys. Y'all keep going.
No, I
Nah,
mean,
but see,
I'm with you. I say go
but
for
see,
it, man. Go for it.
but
Why
see,
not?
I would do it, but sometimes people dreams they don't think with their head. They thinking with their
Hmm.
heart.
Yep, yep.
This ain't a
Yeah.
hell of a hard case right here, though.
His dream
This is
is
straight
all he
money.
thinking about. I want to play football, man.
Fuck
I want to be a
football.
star quarterback.
Fuck. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cuss on your platform, but F football.
Hey,
Some
man.
things got to be bigger.
I mean, two things can be true at the same time, but his mind got to get set for that.
Well, it's time you start preparing his mind for that. Somebody in that camp should be saying that. And I'm gonna put this out there to any law firm, to any up and coming lawyer. If you want to be the next Johnny Cochran, you want to be a household name in the legal field. This is the case. I would be beating on that door. If I was a lawyer right now, I would be
Yeah.
beating at that door. Hey man,
Yeah, yeah.
let's do this.
And
If you
Johnny
want
two
to
times said, "Why would you? Why would he sue?" I think we talked about why already.
we
But
laid all that out. That's why I
Yeah.
didn't even bring that up because
and he
we
probably
laid
already
out.
had it out there. We just had a delay in getting these comments up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we neglected the comment section on this one. But yeah, if I'm any type of lawyer worth a damn, oh I'm salivating right now to get the help to this case because oh man, I'm about to eat this motherfucker up.
Yeah.
I'm about to go all the way in, and I'm gonna make my whole career off of this case with the NFL because you can't say it ain't what it is on this. You can go into all this. Oh, well, we gave Kaepernick some workouts, and he just didn't make the cut.
Yeah. They tried
What
that and
you want
that didn't pan out.
Yeah,
You,
They
you,
say
you
you can't, but you
teams
can't do that.
sending equipment
But
managers.
that's the reason why Kaepernick said no when they
Bro.
tried to put him in a workout. He said if he gonna do a workout, he wanted to do it in a controlled environment.
Yeah.
yes, yep. He
Uh-huh.
sure did. He sure did.
Yep.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, because he knew how they was gonna operate. They was gonna bring the equipment and water boy, put some shirts on them, and give them some notepads.
For sure.
Yep.
So that's all I'm saying.
He might have got out there in the field. They've been running the sprinkler for 12 hours.
Mm-hmm.
This is bigger than Nino Brown, bro. This is a multi-billion-dollar industry you going up
But
against.
what I'm saying is, who in the league made that dumb decision to do that by that draft, man? Because
Well,
it's just obvious, bro.
probably
Yeah.
Goodell and those teams that he said he refused to that they said they didn't want to go to. Them
Yeah.
the owners that's probably the heads of this.
And
Yeah.
then what I'm telling you what makes it so crazy. The dude that owned the Giants, Mara, he was all in for getting Shedeur.
Yeah.
But see, that's the thing. Once you pick, it's bigger than money.
But I'm telling you, that's day ball, man. That's day ball. And they keep on saying assistant coach. That was day ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. They ball's a mild
absolutely.
contempt,
And
man,
they
and
picked up the
he should have
phone.
been fired last year.
They
Hey,
picked up the phone. They called Goodell because Goodell does not. People don't understand. Goodell is not independent. Goodell
He worked for them.
works for the
He worked for all
owners.
those owners.
He worked for
yeah.
all the owners.
He is
Mm-hmm.
a lawyer. So if a good portion of the owners got together and say, if we allow this to happen, this is gonna continue to happen. Well, players are gonna say, hey, I don't want to go to this team, and then what? So they looking at it as you got to put yourself in their mindset. Well, we don't want the inmates running their side.
Mm-hmm.
But you done it two times. The
But you
documented
done
you
said
done it two
that,
times.
and they
You,
don't want it a third time. So they got
you did
together.
let John Elway did what he wanted to do, and you
Well,
let Eli them do what they wanted to do.
they are white. You are absolutely right. You did. They are white, and then that can be brought into a trial as well. That can be used as examples. So they don't. There's no upside to this for the NFL. But
Right.
the owners made a misstep with this. The owners really fucked up, and you really exposed yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man.
They did.
And it's for the Sanders family to go back and capitalize on this, and that would help. Not only that, this shit bigger than football at this point.
No, it is.
Because
It is.
It
because
is.
if you file that lawsuit, this benefits black players and it benefits all players, but more specifically black players in every single sport on the planet. So some things you got to take this shit out of the realm of football and look at a bigger picture.
Yeah.
Hey,
This is the
Hey,
big
hey,
picture.
you preaching to the choir, bro. You preaching to the choir.
Yeah,
I see
I'm
Mr. Lee said.
convinced, man. Hey, go for it.
Hey, I see Mr. Lee said since the draft, Travis has distanced himself from Shedeur, and yeah,
You know what? I'm glad you brought that up, Tub. I didn't really look at it that way, but until now, like it really was a kind of
he
a
distanced.
separation.
He did distance himself from Shedeur.
That's because his
So,
agents that got in his ear tell you better not say nothing. That's what I'm saying. All of that falls under the realm of collusion.
Yeah.
Mm,
All of it.
man.
Yeah, because
Hey,
they like,
God
hey,
damn, I
Travis,
can't
you got to
explain this
think
shit
about
enough, man.
yourself. You
wow.
made it this far. You got to think about
that was a
yourself.
good comment, Mr. Lee.
Yeah.
Wow. That
Wow.
wow. I didn't even see that, man. Like just I wasn't even really I was more focused on Travis and his girlfriend.
Man,
Travis,
when they got their jerseys retired, Shedeur was out there trying to play with Travis. Travis was getting him off him. Like, go
Mm,
on,
So
man. I don't want to talk.
somebody that talked to him already and said this.
Yeah, if you want to be the number 2 pick, you better move back off of it.
because you know what? He ain't really said nothing at all about Shedeur not getting
Yeah, getting
drafted.
drafted. Yeah.
Like he ain't picked yet, or I don't understand why he ain't been picked in the first round or
He
nothing.
can't say nothing, but he called him yesterday when he got drafted.
Yeah.
He called him yesterday when he got drafted.
So he called him Saturday.
Had a conversation
Nah,
about
he
this,
called.
man.
Yeah, yesterday.
So he
Yeah.
called him Saturday. He got drafted Thursday.
And I
Yeah,
mean, you
but
know, when you talk
but
about
when
private
they was
numbers,
calling his name, he thought Shedeur was going to New Orleans. He
Yeah.
started his press conference and everything when
yeah,
it was
yeah,
announced.
he did do that.
So
That
maybe
was
he knew the talks too. Maybe,
Yeah.
you know, these guys talk, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm certain
Mhm.
New Orleans, somebody would have gave you heads up when if you're drafting them,
Yeah,
and like if you kind of expecting that to be the pick, like
yeah.
I don't know, man. Hey, the lawsuit would open up a lot of doors, man. We got to get this to Deion or Pilar or somebody. Somebody need to
No,
get this.
no, no. Do not give it to Pilar.
Okay.
That's the last person you give it to. Pilar is what Pilar don't care about the boys. Pilar is worried about Pilar.
Oh God.
What kind of money she gonna get?
Uh-huh.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Hey
But
man, that's
man, this
wild,
is a
man.
compelling story, man. A
Yeah.
compelling argument. I hope that they do what you said, sir. I mean, it will be like you said, it'll be great for the game
Yeah.
and great for the future draft picks, man. That have cachet, even before they become a pro. You know what I mean? And while they are, pros, I mean, because even during franchise, when those guys are free agents, man, after being in the league, and how some teams collude against certain players about
Mm-hmm.
picking them up in free agency and the type of money, Johnny Manziel can do nothing in the league and still make 20 something million, $30 million when you got a young man that what I mean that got good stats, that won in the league, and he's still fighting tooth and nail just to make veteran minimums.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Hey,
I
but the
mean,
thing I'm gonna tell you another thing, Phil, about whoever win the Heisman, they get money for the rest of their life.
yeah, yeah,
Oh, they
You
do.
know, just off of
I,
appearance fee.
yeah.
oh,
I
I didn't
mean,
know
you
that.
look at let's take this back to like Maurice Claret when he was trying to get in the league when he was at the height of his career in college.
He found
And
collusion.
exactly, and the NFL blackballed him because they said, "Oh well, you're
Oh
not three
yeah.
years removed," and
That's
he
right.
sued the league. He
That's
sued the
right.
league and he won. Him and Mike Williams end up going pro, and they made sure that they didn't do nothing in the league.
That's
Those
right.
guys did nothing in the league.
But they didn't even win. They won the case, and then they came back with a stay. So you got to remember, they still had to abide by the league rules. So they had to sit out that sophomore year.
Right.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
But
Yep.
They still didn't come into their third year out of high school.
That's
yep.
right. That's
I
right.
And
mean,
Correct was all out of shape.
mhm.
Mike Williams had blew up to a tight end.
Yeah, he went to but one went to Denver when Denver was nothing right after the Denver height, and the other one
That
ended
was
up in
correct.
Detroit,
And Westcott
and
went to Detroit.
with Detroit when Detroit was nothing. So what that tell you?
Yep.
And now let's fast forward. Look what Shedeur is at Cleveland. Come on now.
With
It's
five
not.
quarterbacks.
Yeah,
Not like LeBron. Not one. Not two. Not three. Not four.
yeah.
Five
But the ideal
quarterbacks.
situation again,
All he can do now is make sure his game tight, bro.
exactly. But
Man.
if the league was smart, they would have let him end up on one of those playoff teams that don't need a quarterback, but
Mm-hmm.
that will pour into
Mm.
him, and then what I mean, put him in a situation of where he can succeed. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
no, that ain't what they want him to do, though, bro. They
I
want
know,
him to
I know,
fail.
I know they
They
want him
want
to
him to
fail. That's what
fail.
I'm saying. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. They want him to fail. That's why they did what they did.
Yeah.
They
That's why
made sure Cleveland got
Yeah.
the only
So,
logical
so, so
answer,
you
the
want to
only
play
logical
football? You gonna
decision,
play the worst of the worst.
yep.
the only
In the
logical
worst
decision to
conditions,
make
under
is
in the
his to
worst
go with.
field, with the worst fans,
The worst. The worst helmet.
the worst helmet, the no offensive line. You don't have a running back. Like, come on, man. I mean, they picked up that dude Quinn Shine, but but
Hey, Neville
That's
still,
why I
said who?
say that the
And
only
Neville said.
logical.
Neville on here said the person who leaked his number had me thinking the NFL planned that.
They did.
mm-hmm,
They absolutely did. That's why I say
yeah,
the only logical thing for
Hey,
him to do is
hey,
find
they
a
was
sponsor.
as they said they were picking.
yeah,
They was picking at him,
yeah,
Well, man, this
get him all excited, and it was a prank call.
yeah.
yeah, yeah, that's cold, man. But
Probably one of them GM's nephews that did it. They put him up too.
Hey man, I want you to call a number for me, man.
Yep.
hey, man, yeah.
That's
Well,
slow
well,
ball, man.
well. Closing comments. We'll start with Randy, and then TB, and then Tub.
Man, I just want to say this conversation just sparked so much information and just just overall, just I don't know, man. This thing is a slippery slope in a positive direction, man. And I think whatever comes about this, I hope, I mean, the young man have a good career. He goes off and be successful. And us as football fans can sit back and watch and if they end up doing a lawsuit, man, that he's successful with that and win, and because that's going to help future ball players that's coming behind them, and that treatment from those owners, and those 32 teams and Roger Goodell, man, it can't go on, man, because black and brown, kids, man, they playing these sports. They are pretty much the face of the sports. They're making millions, billions of dollars off of their names, their likeness, their abilities, and they give them a finite amount of time to complete the mission and getting generational wealth for their families and making money, and the finite time is because when they turn 30, that's what they say, the clock is ticking and you out the league. And if you don't pan out, you out the league. So yeah, man, I respect all y'all opinions, man, and it was some great opinions, and I'm glad to be able to talk with y'all on a Sunday afternoon.
Yes, sir. TB.
Hey man, I just want to say, man, great conversation. And sometimes I want to let y'all know. Sometimes when I get combative, I just be wanting y'all to see the other side of it. It's nothing personal because I can't hit no ball no more, and I can't run now and nothing. I'm 52 years old,
Hey, man.
but right is right and wrong is wrong. And these kids are in their prime money making uh era. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And what they did to that guy, that's wrong. And what they did to Maurice, correct, and other folks that have challenged uh, the entering the league policy is wrong. So all
Yep.
of it's collusion to keep them out. You know what I'm saying? A
Mm-hmm.
lot of these kids, this on the way they parents they can help their parents out to get out of a tough financial living crisis. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Even though
Yes, sir.
your daughter don't have that what's called, but I another thing I want to say too, man. I wish that parents would stop trying to live through their kids, man. And
Mm.
let them kids be free to, you don't put all that type of pressure on kids, man.
Yeah.
You have a lot of parents that they like to live through their kids, and us as parents, grandparents, we got to stop doing that.
Well stated, bro. Well stated. You just sparked another show topic,
Oh
and
yeah.
I send it. I'm gonna send it to you in a few minutes because you just hit something, man, that I run across as a basketball official. But we'll talk about it off air.
Yeah.
I
And,
appreciate that
and, and,
comment.
and let me say one more thing. One more thing. And Deion, he's the one of the biggest people that I know. He been big up in his kid, and I would big up your kid too.
Mm-hmm.
But he been bigging up his kid like his kid been more than everybody else's kid. You got that's why I just said stop trying to live through your kids.
Yeah.
You put too
Amen.
much pressure on these kids, man. And Shedeur only gonna do what he see Deion did. Deion, you see, he around bragging about when he got to the teams that he knew wasn't gonna where he say where he wasn't gonna be at. He said the dude said, "Don't you think you need to put on a suit or something?" He said, "What position you driving at?" 17. He said, "I won't be there," and walked out of the interview. See,
Oh my.
you teach your kids bad habits, dog.
Yeah.
Oh God. Wow.
You ain't know about that story, did he? He tell it
Oh
all the
no, I
time.
know. Oh, I
I
know
did.
about it.
Wow. I didn't know
Yeah.
about that one.
Oh yeah. That's public record. He said that. Actually, in his 30 for 30.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Man.
he said everywhere he go,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
that's not good for you to be teaching kids stuff like that, man, because you
Yeah.
don't want to go to a certain place, and it almost got his own kid.
Yeah.
Damn.
But technically it did. It did.
Yeah, it
If it
did.
wasn't a public outlash and it would have went on and he would have went undrafted.
Um,
You know.
so
But
Well, you can
Yeah,
pass it
I'm
over
due.
to
I'm due.
so regardless of all of that, it don't matter. None of that is all of that is irrelevant when you have a clear cut example of the league conspiring to, in their own views, humble a player. That is collusion. So we can do all of that and we can say he should have, would have, he should have wore a suit, he shouldn't have said this, he shouldn't have said that. That does not negate the fact that the league unfairly targeted a young black player to decrease his draft stock, to decrease his financial earning abilities. All of that it's a clear cut case. And the only answer, the only response of the Sanders family should be to drop the lawsuit. There is no downside to this lawsuit, none whatsoever. And the money that you would have made, that you could make in the league, will pale in comparison to the money that the league will pay you to make this go away. So I don't want to hear any Monday morning quarterbacking from anybody if you haven't went there and said off the top that this was collusion. So my whole thing, to sum it up, to anybody representing the Sanders family, to anybody within the sound of my voice that may hear this, come across this on the internet or whatever, the only thing that you should be suggesting for him to do is to sue. And to any law firm, any lawyers, black, white, Hispanic, whatever, if you want to make your career, if you want to be the next high profile attorney that everybody comes to, it will behoove you to go and engage the Sanders family and pursue this lawsuit. Because I'm tired of the double standards for us that they don't have for other people. If the Manners were allowed to do it, if Elway was allowed to do it, if Manziel was allowed to do it and be arrogant and say what they are and what they ain't gonna do, and they still got the money, they still maintain their draft slots, then goddamn it, that same thing should have been afforded to the Sanders family, to Shedeur Sanders in particular. So all of that everybody on the internet is saying is irrelevant when it comes down to the league conspired to keep him out, to keep him as low as possible, because they couldn't keep him out, because then they really wouldn't get sued. So other than anything outside of that, fuck all of that. It's collusion, plain and simple. And I'm gonna end mine on that.
All right.
Amen. Hey guys, I'm gonna just close it with this. I appreciate everybody on the panel. I appreciate everybody who tuned in. Appreciate the comments. Appreciate everybody who's gonna share. Make sure you like the YouTube page. As stated earlier in the episode, we're on opportunity chance number 4 with YouTube. Follow on the TikTok and the Instagram. We bringing this fire about 4 days a week now. So just follow us, and we dropping stuff that people don't want to say. We hitting those hard topics. So appreciate all the support, and that's it, guys. We're gonna get back together once again.
All right. Let me know.
All
All
right.
right,
It's
All right.
on.
Y'all have a good one.
Yeah,
all
this
right,
was dope.
fellas.
All right.
All right.
You too.
Bless.